Good morning to all. My name is Balakoteswararao. I am your science teacher. So, how are you, students? In this living world, there are number of organisms that present around us. Number of organisms, either plants or animals or humans or invisible life also is there, which is not visible to our eyes. That is microorganisms. So, number of organisms, for example, plants are there, animals are there, microorganisms are there, fishes is there, human. So, number of organisms are, these are living organisms which are present in our surroundings. Here, we have to notice that one. Some of the organisms are more in number, some of them are very less in number. We all are very well, the plants which are present around us, enormous. The number of plants that are present around us. Animals also is there. Animals means goats, buffalo, sheep, whatever it is, different types of animals, wild animals also present. So, our main topic is how the number of organisms are increasing. If you take an example of two goats is there. Goats. The head of goats is goat or sheep. The head of goats or sheep is every year increasing in its number, or the plants. The number of plants is increasing every year by its number. Human also, the best example is at the time of 1947, before the independence, at the time of independence of India, our population is approximately 30 crores of people. But in the 2020, our population is approximately more than 120 crores. So this is increasing of number of organisms. Like that in every living organisms, the increasing of number takes place by a process that is called reproduction. Reproduction. Here is the re means again. Production means produce or manufacture. So all these organisms. So the planet, the living planet Earth is not only belongs to the humans. It is the place for different types of organisms. Yes or no? All organisms are there. All are increasing in their number. The best example is if the organisms do not reproduce. If the organisms do not reproduce, their race will be stopped at all. The race will be stopped. The example is dinosaurs. One of the main reasons behind the disappearance of dinosaurs, we all see the dinosaurs in the skeleton of dinosaur in the museum only. Yes or no? If you go to the Asarjan Museum in Hyderabad, dinosaur skeleton is there, fossils. So we have seen this animal in the skeletal level, fossil level only. It's not a living now. What is the reason? What is the reason behind that? These animals, one of the reason is these animals cannot reproduce perfectly. So all the organisms reproduce themselves to produce the new organisms, to reproduce new organisms, to continuation of their race, to continuation of their animals. Today our topic is reproduction. Because of that I have given this much of explanation. Reproduction. Here re means again. Production means produce. Reproduction. So first of all, what is reproduction? The process of living organisms. The process of living organisms produce new offsprings of the same kind is called reproduction. I will write on the board. May I write? Reproduction means the process by which living organisms produce new organisms of its own kind. is called reproduction. The process by which living organisms produce new organisms of its own kind is called reproduction. In this lesson, we are taking the example of reproduction in plants. We all are very familiar with the plants. What are the parts that present in the plant? So, if you take a plant here, it has the root system, stem system, leaves. What are the parts of the plant? Flowers, buds, etc. So, these are present. So, the reproduction in the plants. What are the reproductive parts of the plant? What are the reproductive parts of the plant? We all know very well, the plants are produced by the seeds. So, reproductive parts. Seeds. The plants can reproduce mostly through the seeds. The plants can reproduce mostly through the seeds. Some plants also can reproduce. Some of the plants can be produced through the stems, root, and leaf. Okay, I am explaining once again. Reproduction, the process by which living organisms produce new offsprings of its own kind is called reproduction. There are several parts that present in the plants. What is the main part useful for the reproduction of the plant? So, mostly the plants reproduce through the seeds, but some plants also reproduce with the stem, root, and leaf. So here I am going to explain about how the reproduction takes place through the seeds. So what is structure of the seed? Have you ever seen that one, a seed? Seed of a mango or seed of groundnut, peanut? Here the seed. If you take its a seed, so if you think it's a seed has three main parts. One is seed coat, the fleshy portion of the seed is called cotyledon, and the baby plant also will present, that is embryo. Okay, a seed has mainly three parts. One is seed coat, cotyledon, and embryo. Seed coat is the outer covering of the seed. Seed coat is the outer covering of the seed. So this is the outer covering of the seed which gives production, and it protects the internal parts, embryo and cotyledons. Okay, seed coat is the outermost layer. It protects the embryo. Embryo is the future plant of the seed. Embryo is the future plant of the seed. The seed coat has, at the same time, the seed coat have tiny holes on it. The seed coat have tiny holes in it for the entry of water. Into the seed. Okay. Do you understand this one? The seed coat is the outermost covering of the seed. It protects the internal parts like cotyledons and embryo. The seed coat have tiny holes on it. Tiny holes for the entry of water. The second one is Cotyledons. It's also called seed leaves. Seed leaf. Seed leaves. Cotyledons are seed leaves. The cotyledons, it is very fleshy and bulbs in size. Fleshy and bulbs in size, which contains the stored food material for the development of the embryo, the future plant. So, cotyledons, fleshy in nature, fleshy by storing of the food material for the embryo. And the third one is the embryo, it is the future plant. Okay, so for the grow of a plant from the seed, it required the right conditions. The seeds only germinates. The seeds germinates or transfer into the new plant when it gets the right conditions. What are the right conditions? Do you understand this? The seed transfer or the seed grows into a new plant when it gets the right conditions. What are the right conditions? The proper amount of light, air and water, and the soil rich with nutrients. Rich with nutrients. Have you ever went into your kitchen? Did you see your mother kept different types of seeds like red gram, green gram, Bengal gram, basra, moong? All these are kept in the tin box. They didn't grow when they are in the tins. Have you seen that one? Sometimes you may notice that the potato may have the potato. And the potato you may see the leaf like root like structures. Potato will develop. Can you see? Did you see that? Or have you ever seen that the seeds are germinates? The seeds are growing. No, they didn't grow when they are in the tins. When the seed get the right conditions like air, water and light and the soil with rich nutrients, it starts germination. Okay.